When you walk into a supermarket, think about it. You're pretty much on autopilot.
Absolutely.
You know the layout, you grab your usual stuff, and I don't know, maybe you'll grab a new flavor of crisps if you're feeling a bit wild.
Right.
But what if that store wasn't static? What if it was this hyper-intelligent thing that knew your dinner plans,
Yeah.
knew what you forgot to put on your list, and just adjusted itself in real time just for you?
Well, that's not science fiction anymore. That level of, personalization and agility, it's fast becoming the baseline for what it takes to succeed in retail.
Exactly. And that's what we're talking about today. Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah, we're looking at a huge technological shift.
Our source material is a recent news digest, and it's all about one of the biggest moves in the UK retail sector. A major giant isn't just, experimenting with AI anymore. They are embedding it right into the core of their operations. This is a big deal.
It's a huge deal. And our mission here is to really unpack that for you, to go past the headlines and extract the practical knowledge. What does this collaboration actually mean for the industry? And more importantly, what does it mean for you, the shopper, over the next few years?
And the big aha moment, the thing that really sets the stage, is the pairing here. On one side, you have Tesco, one of the largest, most influential supermarket retailers in the UK, a behemoth.
And on the other, you have Mistral AI, a French startup, relatively new but very high profile. They're known all over for their innovative approaches to AI.
And this is not some small pilot program.
No, not at all. It's a significant 3-year strategic deal. And it's centered entirely on one thing, the customer experience.
Right, using personalization, anticipation, and streamlining.
Exactly. The big theme here, which the source makes really clear, is that the industry had moved past the whole "is AI useful?" question. That's over.
So the question now is about seamless integration.
It's about strategic necessity. How do we make this work flawlessly?
Okay, so that's the context. Let's get into what this new reality for retail AI really looks like.
Let's do it.
So let's start with that shift you mentioned. The source really hammers this home. It's not about if AI is useful, but how it fits seamlessly into everything.
Yes, and seamlessness is the new and honestly the unforgiving metric for success.
What do you mean by unforgiving?
Well, for years, AI in retail was kind of siloed. It was an experiment.
Right, something happening in a back office somewhere.
Exactly. Optimizing truck routes, maybe some fraud detection online. There were these little proof of concepts that always had to justify their own existence, their ROI.
And when they did touch the customer, they often felt clunky.
So clunky. Think about those first-generation self-checkouts or a recommendation engine on a website that suggests you buy, I don't know, cat food because you bought a can of tuna once.
Yeah, hilariously bad. Back then, the utility was definitely in question because the tech just wasn't smooth. It wasn't a low-friction experience.
That friction factor was the killer. If the AI caused more problems than it solved, whether for the employee or the shopper, it just got shelved. But now, the whole context has flipped.
How so?
The machine learning models we have today are so much more sophisticated. The expectation has gone from, can AI help us a little bit, to AI must be integrated so flawlessly that you, the customer, get all the benefits without ever thinking about the complexity behind it.
So the technology becomes invisible, but the improvement is obvious.
That's it, exactly. You see quicker service, you get better recommendations. The thing you want is always in stock. That's the evidence of good AI working behind the scenes.
And this is driven by what our source calls the mandate for improving the way customers interact with their brands.
Right. And for a giant like Tesco with physical stores and a massive online presence, that means it's not just about making the supply chain 1% faster. It's customer-facing. It's experience-driven.
So it's about redefining the store itself.
Yes. The store becomes a personalized service platform.
That distinction is so important. Back office stuff is one thing, but when you're improving the interaction, the AI's output has to be right there where the rubber meets the road.
Absolutely. Whether you're clicking through the website or walking down an aisle, the solution has to be flexible enough for both.
We're talking about creating these hyper-personal touch points everywhere.
We are. The old way was static. Here's what you bought last year. The new model is real time. What are you doing right now? Where are you standing? What's the weather like? And how does that change the 2 things you forgot to add to your list?
And that's why you, the consumer, should care. Because this is all about saving you time and reducing that friction.
It is. The industry's investment in AI is basically a competitive bet on your convenience.
So AI, moving from this niche experiment to a core tool. It's the industry admitting that our expectations for speed and relevance have just gone through the roof.
They have. A seamless experience is now a requirement. The second you hit friction, a long line, an empty shelf, a bad recommendation, you have a dozen other options. Competitors, delivery apps.
It just raises the bar for everyone. And that's what's driving this partnership. Tesco isn't looking for a tiny improvement.
No, they're aiming for a transformation, something that secures their spot at the top for the next decade.
And they realize they're sitting on this mountain of data.
A mountain of valuable data, loyalty cards, transactions, location data, and the only way to really use that to turn it into better service and savings is with sophisticated, customized AI. This is about unlocking all of that latent value.
Okay, so we've set the stage. AI is a must-have for market share. So let's look at the players in this deal. First, Tesco. The source calls them one of the largest supermarket retailers in the UK.
And that's almost an understatement. The strategic weight they carry is immense, not just in the UK, but globally.
We're talking about thousands of stores, right?
Right.
Insanely complex logistics.
Staggering scale, millions of transactions every single day. For a company like that, any big technology change is a massive, expensive, and risky undertaking.
So when they commit to a 3-year deal like this, it's a huge signal. They're saying this is absolutely critical for
It's a
them.
very public declaration to the entire retail world. It says, we are defining the future of shopping, and we're willing to overhaul our core systems to do it.
And it feels a bit defensive, too.
Oh, absolutely. They're not just reacting to a general trend. They're reacting to the threat from agile online players.
Like Amazon Fresh.
Exactly. Companies that were built from the ground up on an AI-first model. Tesco has to use its physical stores and its deep well of customer data and power it with AI to keep its edge. This is future-proofing.
Which brings us to their partner, Mistral AI. The source calls them a French startup, known for innovative approaches. And this is the interesting part to me. Why would a massive, established giant like Tesco pick a relatively young European company? Why not one of the huge legacy American tech firms?
That is the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? And you're right, partnering with a startup has risks. If Mistral can't deliver at scale, Tesco is left with a huge mess.
So what's the logic? What's the specific innovation that makes them so attractive?
Well, Mistral is known for specializing in highly efficient, often smaller, open-source focused large language models, LLMs.
Okay.
So unlike some of the giant monolithic models that need just, city-sized server farms to run, Mistral's tech is designed to be more nimble, it's customizable, it's fast to deploy, and it's really good at specific domain-focused tasks.
Ah, okay. So Tesco isn't buying the biggest hammer they can find. They're buying a set of surgical tools.
A perfect analogy.
Yeah.
They're buying tools that can be adapted and rolled out across a huge decentralized network of thousands of stores and millions of customer accounts.
So they're choosing agility and customization over just raw computing power.
Precisely. It suggests they're not looking for some general off-the-shelf AI. They want to co-develop something bespoke, something tailored. Mistral lets them do that without the inertia you sometimes get with legacy providers whose systems can be too rigid or just too expensive to tweak.
And that idea of co-development really fits with the timeline, a significant 3-year partnership.
Right. 3 years isn't just development time. That implies a deep integration into their core operating system.
This is a bet on foundational change.
You're fundamentally changing the company's DNA. It means every major function, from how a warehouse is loaded to how a shelf is stocked, will be informed by and probably dependent on Mistral's AI tools.
And the central goal, again, is to tailor AI solutions that cater specifically to customer needs.
Which confirms it. The goal isn't just making the back office cheaper to run. It's about maximizing how relevant they are to you, the customer.
They're building a system to understand the unique patterns of a Tesco shopper.
Yes. And in a world of generic data models, that's the whole game. The ability to build an AI that gets the local nuance, the specific way British holidays affect shopping, the needs of a specific neighborhood, that's the competitive edge. That turns data into market advantage.
So we know the why and the who. Now let's get into the how, the 3 pillars that are supposed to make this all happen.
Okay, let's get into the practical application. The source gives us 3 big goals for this partnership. They're interconnected, and they're really the measures of success here.
Right. Personalizing shopping experiences, anticipating customer preferences, and streamlining operations.
Exactly.
We need to get granular on these. Let's start with the one that feels most immediate for the customer. Personalizing shopping experiences.
Hmm.
Now, when I hear personalization in a supermarket, my mind just goes to, digital coupons or we think you'll like this emails. But this has to be deeper than that, right?
Yeah.
Especially with a partner like Mistral.
Oh, absolutely. We're moving way beyond simple segmentation. We're talking about creating an individualized path to purchase for every single person.
So it's taking all these data points that used to be separate.
Totally separate. Your loyalty card data,
Well,
what you're browsing on the app right now, what you bought last month, your location if you're in the store, even guessing your lifestyle needs from all those patterns, it brings it all together.
so let's make that tangible. Online, okay, my homepage is customized. It shows me stuff that fits my diet, my schedule. Fine. But the physical store, how do you personalize a giant physical supermarket for just one person walking in?
This is where those specialized models really come into their own. Imagine you walk into a Tesco. The app on your phone, powered by Mistral's AI, knows what's on your list and it knows the store's current stock levels. It could immediately map out the most efficient path for you.
So not the standard aisle 1, aisle 2, aisle 3 route.
No, a custom path. If you never buy alcohol and you're just there for dairy and produce, it guides you on a route that skips all the aisles you don't need. It minimizes your walking, gets you in and out faster.
And maybe, right before I get to the checkout, it pings me with a reminder that I'm probably low on toothpaste based on how often I usually buy it.
Exactly that. And it's not just the route, it's product discovery. The little digital signs on the shelves could change subtly to highlight things relevant to you.
So if the AI knows I bought diapers last week,
Then the display at the end of the aisle might show a personalized deal on baby food, anticipating that next step in your child's life. It's a subtle but really valuable intervention.
it prevents that moment of frustration, when you're in the car on the way home and you realize you forgot something. The AI is kind of completing your mental checklist for you.
And from a business perspective, that drives two huge things. First, loyalty. When shopping feels that easy, that designed for you, you're not going to go somewhere else.
And second, it must increase how much people buy.
It increases basket size, exactly. By making every interaction relevant, it makes sure you see things you are genuinely likely to want. It's the foundation for everything else.
Okay, so that's personalization. Let's talk about the second pillar, which feels like the next evolution of that. Anticipating customer preferences.
Yes. This is the real leap forward. If personalization is about using past data to tailor the present moment,
Anticipation is about predicting the future.
it's moving beyond reaction to true predictive modeling. The source uses the word anticipate very deliberately, and we have to separate that from just basic forecasting.
Okay, so define that line. Forecasting versus anticipation.
Forecasting is big picture. It's based on aggregates. A retailer forecasts, based on last summer, we'll need 20% more ice cream this summer.
Right.
Anticipation, using these advanced AI models, is incredibly granular and individual. It says, based on Sarah's purchase history, the weather forecast for her specific postcode, and the fact she just used a loyalty voucher for pasta, she is highly likely to buy her favorite brand of pesto next Tuesday.
2 days earlier than she normally would.
Exactly. It spots these tiny trends long before a human analyst could. Maybe even before Sarah herself realizes she needs pesto.
And the source says this allows Tesco to exceed customer expectations.
Because you're solving a problem they don't even know they have yet. If you can exceed expectations, you create delight. And delight is the ultimate loyalty driver.
The impact on inventory must be massive.
Oh, huge. If the AI can predict a little surge in demand for, say, a specific type of cheese in one neighborhood because of a local festival,
It can tell the supply chain to send more stock to that one store proactively.
yes. And that minimizes the single biggest friction point for a customer, an out-of-stock item. It means the shelf is never empty when you get there.
So the aha moment for you, the listener, is that this AI is constantly working in the background to make sure your favorite things are always there. It's making the mind-boggling complexity of retail logistics completely invisible.
And it has a knock-on effect for things like sustainability. Better anticipation means less food waste because you order more precisely. It's better service, but it's also a huge win for the business's bottom line and the environment.
Okay, which brings us to the third pillar, streamlining operations within Tesco stores. This is the engine room that makes it all work.
It's absolutely critical. If your AI is great at making recommendations, but it slows down the staff or makes restocking a nightmare, the whole thing falls apart. The front-end experience suffers instantly.
So how does better streamlining, powered by this AI, directly help me as a customer? Faster checkouts is an obvious one.
Faster checkouts because the AI can predict customer traffic flows with incredible accuracy and schedule staff accordingly. But it goes deeper.
Tell me.
Think about computer vision. Cameras in the store constantly monitoring shelf levels.
Okay.
When the AI sees that the popular brand of milk is running low, it doesn't wait for an employee to walk by and notice. It instantly generates a task for the nearest staff member and tells them exactly where to find the new stock in the back room.
So shelves are always full. No more searching for an employee to ask if there's more in the back.
Exactly. And like we said, less waste, which helps keep prices stable. It's a virtuous cycle. Better data leads to smoother operations, which creates a better customer experience, which in turn drives more loyalty and generates more data.
It sounds like the AI handles all the internal chaos.
It does. It manages the inventory, the staffing, the logistics, so that when you interact with the brand, it just feels effortless. The staff are better supported too. They're not just fighting fires. They're acting on smart, prioritized tasks.
So they're freed up to actually help customers.
Precisely. They can exceed expectations because the chaos has been managed for them by the AI. Without this strong, streamlining pillar, the other two would just collapse.
It's clear they all have to be woven together. You can't have one without the others.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, Tesco's massive market share, Mistral's advanced AI, the 3-year deep integration, this is so much more than a vendor deal.
The source calls it a strategic move.
And that's the right phrase. It's about locking in market leadership for years to come and defending against that rising tide of digital-first competitors.
This isn't just about making a better app. It feels like they're trying to define what a supermarket even is in the next decade.
They are. And for the other big retailers, this is a wake-up call. AI integration like this is no longer optional. It's a competitive necessity. The second a giant like Tesco commits this hard, everyone else in the market has to react.
It puts immense pressure on them.
Huge pressure. You have to imagine the boardrooms at other major European supermarkets. They basically have a 3-year clock ticking now.
Because if Tesco pulls this off,
if they deliver on this promise of a hyper-personalized, anticipatory shopping experience, the standard for the entire industry just shifts overnight. Customers will start to expect that same level of smart convenience everywhere they shop.
our source says this could very well set a new standard for customer interactions in supermarkets. If they succeed, the ripple effect will be fast and, frankly, brutal for anyone who is slow to adapt.
It forces everyone into an AI arms race. They'll all have to adopt similar models just to keep up. The basis of competition changes. It's not just about who has the lowest price on milk anymore.
It becomes about the quality and intelligence of the shopping experience itself.
The experience becomes the product. That's the differentiator.
Which raises an interesting question. If the standard gets this high, if the AI is so good at predicting what you need and streamlining your trip, is there a danger you optimize the fun out of it?
That's a fascinating and profound point.
I mean, sometimes the fun of shopping is wandering the aisles, discovering something new, and impulse buy.
Serendipity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If the AI is perfectly optimizing my route to only show me things I'm statistically guaranteed to buy, does it create a sterile, boring, predictable experience?
That's the philosophical debate at the heart of this, isn't it? Tesco is making a bet. They're betting that the value of reducing friction, the time you save, the convenience, always having things in stock, is worth more to you than the occasional random discovery.
They're prioritizing targeted relevance, which drives loyalty in bigger baskets, over that random impulse buy.
And you can see the excitement around that bet in the source's tone. It says it's an exciting time for both companies as they embark on this journey together.
The world is definitely watching. This isn't just a Tesco story. It's a forecast for the future of retail strategy everywhere.
And it demonstrates that customized, specialized AI is now absolutely central to survival and growth in this sector.
It's also a massive win for a company like Mistral.
Oh, huge. It proves that you don't have to be one of the old guard tech giants to lead the way. Agility, innovation, customization. Those are the decisive factors now in landing these massive foundational contracts.
So this is the new blueprint for how big traditional companies will integrate AI.
I think so. Not through some generic one-size-fits-all system, but through these specialized co-developed models that are built to solve very specific problems. It's a masterclass in strategic tech adoption. Hashtag outro.
Okay, so let's pull all this together to recap the essential knowledge from this deep dive. We've seen the huge strategic importance of this 3-year deal between Tesco and Mistral AI.
Right. It's this powerful alliance between a UK retail giant and an innovative French AI company that favors these customized approaches over the giant monolithic models. And the whole thing is driven by those three core pillars. First, personalization, tailoring the entire experience online and in-store to you.
Second, anticipation, using predictive models to have the right product ready for you at the exact moment you need it.
And third, and this is the crucial part that makes it all work, streamlining operations. Using AI to manage the back end, the stock, the staff, so that your front end experience is just seamless.
It's a strategic move designed to raise the bar for every single one of their competitors.
It really is.
If they get this right, the supermarket of the future is less about just aisles of stuff and more about this hyper-relevant, bespoke, and incredibly efficient journey every single time you go.
They're trying to make the ridiculously complex business of getting food on your table feel completely effortless.
So here's a final thought for you to take away, something to think about as you watch this all unfold over the next 3 years. As this AI gets better and better at personalization and anticipation, just consider the shifting power dynamic. How well will this technology know your needs, your schedule, maybe even your desires, before you're even consciously aware of them yourself?
That's the big question.
If the AI is perfect, you never have a moment of friction. You never see an empty shelf. You never get home and realize you forgot the milk. You almost stop having to think about shopping. The store just provides.
And that is the ultimate promise here. It completely changes the relationship between a retailer and you, the individual shopper.
A powerful idea to consider. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
Stay curious and keep exploring.